Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are loads of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's an exam technique guidebook full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're working through your paper actually on exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, it's all there for you. If you can give me a like, that'd be really encouraging to me. And please do subscribe to keep updated. There's loads more to come. And now in this video, we're going to start the new topic of the chromatic scale. So if you turn with me in your Music Theory and Practice workbook to page 37. And I'm just going to note this as section J, and then you can see that that refers to the PDF information sheet section J. And I've just given you some basic pointers about how to approach writing a chromatic scale. It's quite a meaty topic, however it's quite an easy one as well, so it's quite an enjoyable topic. A chromatic scale is basically a scale where every semitone is included. And so we just can write this in a number of different ways. There are just a couple of things that we need to make sure occur. Of course, we need to make sure that every line is represented and every space is represented, because if you think about it, scale means step and we can't miss any steps out at all. However, we also need to make sure that everything is represented at least once but not more than twice. Otherwise, that will create a gap later in this scale. And then the other thing is, although there are many options, we need to make sure that the first, fourth and fifth degrees of the scale are represented unaltered. And that makes sense really, because if you think about it, they're the notes that form the primary triads of the tonic, subdominant and dominant. They're quite pivotal in a harmonic context, so we need to make sure that they stay unaltered. After that you can do perhaps any combination really. And so let's just look how that looks on the scale, the chromatic scale starting on C. And so you can see we've definitely got line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. We've got every step represented. Some are once, some are twice, but none are three, and we've not missed any. And then we've got the C is unaltered, the F is present and the G is present. You see, we could have perhaps called that E followed by E sharp followed by F sharp. However, that wouldn't be quite correct because we need to have the F properly represented, and so on. And that's really it, and I think you'll just get the hang of it by just cracking in and having a go. And so they've given us some examples here, just more examples of what we've just discussed. So have a little look through those just so you get the principle. It's just perhaps a little bit more complicated when you've got to be bearing in mind key signatures. So if you find that you get a little bit lost, by all means sketch in the key signature as accidentals just so that you don't forget that they will be active also. So let's have a go at exercise 1. So we've just got to chromatically alter the notes given now. So there's no option as to which position of the line or space they're given for us. We've just got to chromatically alter them. You might find it helpful to just sketch out a piano keyboard for yourself, even if you don't play piano. It's just a visual clue that's really helpful. Give yourself a good octave or so. So we've got 2 black notes miss, 3 black notes miss, 2 black notes miss, so on. Doesn't have to be an artistic wonder, just as long as it does the job. And by all means, make it easy by just sketching out the letter names, anything that helps you to not get confused. There's enough going on without making life more tricky. And so we've just got to make sure that starting from this G, we're going to represent every single semitone by altering each one of these. So obviously as we're descending, we're going to go from here to here. We could call that an F sharp, or we could call it a G flat, but because they've given us the note F, we have no alternative but to call that F sharp. Now we need the F natural, and so we've got to cancel the sharp that's just been added. Don't forget you've got to cancel, otherwise that will still be an F sharp. E can remain unaltered. And now we need this key. We could call it a D sharp, but because they've given us note head E, we've got to refer to that as E flat. So we're there. Then we've got the D. Then this is the next one here. We can't call that D flat because they've given us a C note head, so we call it C sharp. Then to cancel the C sharp, we need a natural sign. B is unaltered. And then now we want this one. We could call it A sharp, but they've given us another B note head, so we'd have to call it B flat. A is unaltered. We need the next semitone down, which we could call G sharp, but they've given us a note A head again, so we'd call that A flat. And that brings us now safely down to G, home, job done. And it really is as simple as that. So by all means, press pause, have a go at the next few, and then we'll look at them together. So I'm hoping you've had a little go. Just keep an eye out which is your clef. So we're starting on B flat now. By all means, keep referencing your keyboard diagram just to help you. So now we're going upwards. So we're going from B flat to B natural. And so we need to cancel that. If it is that you feel uncomfortable with any of these clefs, by all means, just sketch the letter names underneath. Just watch out which ones are repeated. G, G, A, B flat. By all means, just do that. If you're not comfortable looking at these clefs, then just sketch in the letter names, whatever it takes to make it easier for you to hold it in your head. So from C, upper semitone will be C sharp. Just keep that there so you can see. So we need C to C sharp. D is unaltered. Now we could call it D sharp, but they've given us an E, so we need to call it E flat. We will then need to cancel that flat sign to get us to E natural. F is unaltered, and then we need F sharp because they've given us that note head again. G is unaltered. Then we need G sharp. It could have been called A flat, but because they've given us a G note head, we have to call it G sharp. Then we've got A, and then the semitone above is B flat given to us. We're safely home. That's that one. Let's have a go at this next one. So if you've not had a go, have a go now, and then we'll try it again together. So I'm hoping you've tried that. So we're starting from A, we're going down bank, so we need an A flat, G, G flat, F, E, E flat, D, D flat. There are no alternatives at present. It has to be these because they've given us these note heads. So there's no other way of approaching this. D flat to C, C to B, B flat, and then down the last semitone takes us to A, so we're safely home. There we go. Let's go over the page. And we've got the last few exercises over the page. So if I just get that nicely set up, okay. So we're ascending this time. So now we've turned the page, you might want to sketch out your piano keyboard again, or you could just have it on a piece of scrap paper. If you were in an exam situation, I would definitely have it on a piece of scrap paper. They do give you that at the start of the exam. Anything that helps you to just free your mind of unnecessary details. So D flat, D natural, E flat, E natural, F. Now it could be F sharp, but they've given us a G, so it must be G flat, G natural, A flat, A natural. Have to cancel those, don't forget. B flat, B natural, C, D flat takes us safely home. I think I am definitely going to just give myself a piano keyboard again, just so it's there as a visual reminder. 1, 2, miss. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, miss. There we go. Not very many marks for colouring in there. Give yourself a good octave. Then you're not going to run out at the end of a scale pattern. Okie dokie, so we're in bass clef now and we're starting on C sharp. Next one is D. It could be D sharp or E flat. They've given us a note D, so it's got to be D sharp. E, F. So now it would have to be F sharp to G, G sharp to A sharp to B, then it's C, then it's C sharp. So that's it, we're safely home. This last one now might feel a little bit more confusing because we're in alto clef. However, just sketch in the letter names. We know that this is C. So we've got a C, we've got a B something. Watch out when it's duplicated, the note head. A. We've got one G. Then we've got F, E, D, C. We've ended up on a C, so we know that's correct. And so now it's just easier to see those if you're not familiar with the alto clef. It's not a clef I'm desperately comfortable with. So there we go, make sure you can see the piano keyboard. So let's have a go. So we're going from C downwards. So we've got C, B. So it's going to have to be B flat. A comes next, so we're going to need another A, so it's A flat, G, now then it's gone to F, so we're not going to call it G flat, it's going to have to be called F sharp, which means now to get F natural, we've got to cancel that sharp we've just done. That's the tricky bit there, forgetting to cancel what's gone before. So F natural, E. Now E flat to D, D flat, and that will take us to C. So there we are. There's no option but to have a combination of flats and sharps, especially when they've given the note heads here. In later scales you may be able to avoid it by perhaps calling something G flat instead of F sharp, but it's not the same concept as major or minor key signatures. It's just literally getting your semitones to work in order, so don't be alarmed that there are flats and sharps occurring in the same scale pattern. So there we go. I hope that's been helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that would be fab. Please subscribe to stay updated. There's lots more in store. And please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all the information available to you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.